The other programme you mentioned earlier, an ugly road and programme of racism that our show has campaigned heavily against in the past year, as the Portal People and agency think tank clowns state racism is only done by one colour when the evidence is overwhelming that all participate in it. And it's something we can all address. Now, the next piece after this is a soccer-based piece. And there is much being said back in the UK and the EU currently about the crowd abusing black players, which is completely unacceptable. But what is overlooked in this one-track, one-thought-based narrative is all groups get abused in some way or other during a soccer game. And yet, curiously, it just gets completely overlooked. Those like me born in Liverpool are called Scousers, which is a pointer to the Irish contingent in the region, most of which were those left behind from the white slave trade out of Liverpool to New York. Now, because of our rebellious nature and the media and government hit pieces on the region, Scousers are not popular with most other regions of the country, and rival teams often sing anti-Scouse songs openly and very audible on the TV. Songs about being thieves to celebrating that we are a poverty-based region, plus more colourful language and descriptions of us, and yet no one stops and thinks of that as being racist against the people of Liverpool. No one. To use a Hillary term, what is the difference? The difference is the authorities made an agenda and don't think for 1 minute they are interested in protecting black players or people. They're just not. And like I said before, this is part of the Israel Cohen program initiated in 1912, where he said, we must realise that our party's, which is Zionism, most powerful weapon is racial tensions. By propounding into the consciousness of the dark races that for centuries they have been oppressed by whites, we can mould them into the program of the Communist Party. We will invest to instill in the whites a guilt complex over their exploitation of the Negroes. We will aid the Negroes to rise in prominence in every walk of life. All there, right in your face. And that program has and is still playing out. All designed to get the white and black communities fighting each other, whilst the hidden hand behind it all plays both sides and laughs at us. Again, think different. Now, Moshe Hogeg is a man on a mission, it is said, and he's made millions as an entrepreneur in the technology sector. And in August last year, he splashed a large portion of it out on a football club, soccer club. Except it wasn't any old club, it was Beitar Jerusalem, one of Israel's top sides, but one which is best known for its anti-Arab, anti-Muslim bias and for its violent, racist supporters. Oops. And the challenge he set himself was to turn it around to change the club's narrative. And generally they play on a Wednesday night in what's known as the Teddy Stadium, and the ground sandwiched between a busy road and a shopping mall. And it's arguably the biggest club in Israel, with historic political ties to the right-wing Likud party. Yes, Mr. Nutty Asshole. And one that has never signed an Arab player, ever. And sections of the crowd would regularly scream, "Death to Arabs." Their banners read, "Forever Pure." And it is a huge problem which the previous owners tried to address, but none has been as successful as Mr. Hogeg. Now, his strategy from the outset was to confront the issue head-on, and there was a fire at the Beitar Jerusalem soccer ground in February 2013 when police said arsonists torched the club officers over the signing of two Muslim footballers from Chechnya. And he said, "I have zero tolerance for racism, absolutely zero, and my reaction towards racism is not proportional. You shout one racist comment and I will sue you for $1 million, he said. What this shows is racism is not one way, as I've stated previously. Those fans could do with finding out some real truth in the From Russia with Love series. But a big kudos to Mr. Hogeg for trying to address the problem. Whilst we all remain divided, the dark forces will still play us. Just quit it.